Hello guys, this is our 21st episode of Creepypasta readings, and today we'll be reading Splitters. So a little backstory on this story here. I've read this thing before. I've shown this to various other kinds of friends and stuff, and I already know this is horrible. Why am I reading it now? Because I need to spread this thing. There are no videos on YouTube of this pasta right here, so we're gonna get right into this. We're gonna blow this conspiracy just wide open. As a side note, this guy who wrote Splitters also wrote Blood Whistle, which is also another shit pasta, so yeah, that should be pretty fun. Alright, let's get into this. Our story is a painful one. The one of my brother and I, that is. It is one full of dejection and despair. Oh boy, you're using some very fancy words here. I know what that means probably, but I'm not sure if I should commend you or keep insulting you about it. But also one of rebirth and a new cause. What is this new cause? What is said purpose that now drives us to do what we do, and that is frowned upon by the masses? All of these answers will come in good time. I must first tell the story of the pitch-black darkness that preceded the blinding light of the dawn. Sounds a little pretentious, but then again, every story here is probably pretty pretentious, so whatever. I'm a very pretty girl, not one of those self-titled conceited bitches whose only goal is to further herself. We just got first-hand signs of OC shit. My beauty is of pure genetic serendipity. What does that word mean? Hold on. Finding valuable or agreeable? Well, that doesn't really make any sense, does it? My brother didn't necessarily get the short end of the DNA stick, as it happens. At 13, he had already been in 3 relationships. Man, he's a fucking slut, if you know what I mean. Or whatever the male equivalent to slut is. We were both super popular honors students, most likely to succeed. Best all around, you name it. Oh boy, perfect OC characters. Give him a round of applause for pro character writing. We had probably already attained its status, but under all of this pronounced fame and acclamation, a dark secret was housed. Our alcoholic father had been abusing us since we were very young. He made us do horrible things, forced consumption of hot sauce, waterboarding, and beating us until our skin was dabbled with blood were just a few. Okay. I'm pretty sure forced hot sauce isn't as bad as waterboarding and getting your ass beaten, as you are showing here. Our mother didn't really care. Often she'd just laugh and encourage our father to do these heinous actions. My brother and I were convinced these things couldn't get worse. They did. So we just went from, hey, look how good my character is. Oh, but, these characters have a dark past of child abuse and forced consumption of hot sauce. I can't get over that. So stupid. After our 13th birthday, our father started bending us over every night. Well, you couldn't have just said, your father was fucking you in the ass. No? He said it was the right age in order for us to not suffer any serious injuries. What a bold-faced lie. He took advantage over all of our orifices, all 3 of mine and both of my brothers. It never affected my brother like it did to me. The fact that he was heterosexual didn't cause him too much pain outside of rectal bleeding and a moderate case of PTSD. Okay, I'm pretty sure PTSD is kind of serious. For me, it did so much more. I could never have sex with boys I dated. I was more than likely rendered infertile. I have never checked. I probably should. This went on for around a year. Then my brother and I got an idea. No, we didn't come up with an idea, but we reached an epiphany. Oh boy, more fancy words. I probably know what they mean. Naturally, to say we were sick of our predicament would be an understatement. We thirsted for revenge like a child in a third world country thirsts for clean water. Yeah, you heard me right. A third world country thirsts for clean water. Okay. That is in such bad taste that I can't really laugh at this shit even. Then again, most of the stuff I say is in bad taste, and some of the stuff I read is in bad taste, but this is a special case right here. I actually don't like the story. The atrocities committed upon my poor brother and I were too great to involve anyone else in. We had to avenge ourselves. We soon formulated a macabre yet fitting plan for sweet revenge. My brother was very interested into medieval torture devices, not just Iron Maidens and the such, but really weird shit. There was one that stuck out particularly in his mind. Apparently the Egyptians had made this pear-shaped device that entered the nose and split the head open. Oh, is this why the story's called Splitters? Probably. And also, I'm pretty sure Egyptians weren't medieval. They're BC motherfuckers, and medieval is 1400s, 1500s and stuff. Since our parents weren't exactly giving us nightmares, my brother invented a device that would exact and exceed the pain they had placed upon us. It had a 7-inch drill that protruded out of the front of the device. Stemming from the base of the drill were 4 slim, turned-out fishhooks. It was powered by 2 handles. When you crank the first one, the drills dig deep into whatever your intended target is. Once the drill is inside, you crank the second handle. This is definitely the most enjoyable part. The fishhooks spread out into their 4 respective directions, tearing whatever the drill went inside open. After 2 Pepsis and some hugs and tears, we knew exactly what we were going to do. Armed with the device and 2 duffel bags full of clothes, we headed downstairs to turn our gory fantasy into even a gorier reality. How did you build this? How did they build it? Because I'm assuming they're like 13 and stuff, because that's kind of the generic age for these creepypasta characters. So unless if you know carpentry or some other crazy shit, then I'm pretty sure you couldn't have built it. As usual, our father was passed out drunk on the couch. Our mother wouldn't be coming in for a late-night snack for another hour, so we had all the time for vengeance we needed. Slowly, my brother pulled down our dad's pants and underwear. I had the relatively daunting task of spreading his cheeks open as my brother put in the contraption in place. This is meant to be scary. It's kind of sounding real dirty, and I'm pretty sure if YouTube finds this, they're gonna wipe me off the face of the earth. Gleefully, he cranked the drill and past his anus and well into his rectum. By now he was trying to scream, but I had gagged him when we found him. I was pretty strong for a girl my age. Oh boy, you have super strength. A stream of brown-red blood now ran down past his legs. Brown-red blood. Pretty sure blood is just red, but whatever. Unless if his blood is actually made out of shit, then I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be brown. Contact your doctor on that. You probably have some kind of serious illness. As so does the author. Knowing that he had caused so much pain to me than him, my brother let me crank the second handle. He attempted to scream the loudest now, begging for mercy once I twitched the handle. Well, how do you know he was begging for mercy if you gagged his mouth beforehand? I twitched the handle, the mechanical gears signaling part 2 of the unbearable pain. Before I really even started the damage, I asked him this question. Where was our mercy? What breaks did you give us? You punished us for doing nothing, and now we're punishing you for causing this pain. I tucked it back a little to settle in the fishhooks there. The blood ran in greater quantity and was noticeably redder. The fishhooks were audibly tearing his innards apart, breaking any resolve he may have had after the initial penetration. His organs contrasted vibrantly to the stained corduroy couch. His stomach split, his acid burning a puddle in the couch. Do physics work like that? I don't know. I embraced my brother and gave him a soft kiss on the cheek to congratulate him. All of a sudden, something took over me. Something inside. Okay, this is the part Well, most people kind of just tune out and say, like, they just nope the fuck out here. 1 kiss turned into 2, and then 3. We pushed aside our father's bloody, festering corpse to make hot, sweet, spontaneous love on the same couch we had committed murder on. When we did it, I felt safe, I felt comforted, I felt truly alive. He held me for a few moments after. It was a tender moment of sibling love that I cherished from that day forward. We had fought on occasion, but now we had little cause for quarrels of importance. Our deeply rooted and deeply passionate love for each other and revenge pushed aside any former reservations as we silently crept into our mother's room. Yes, you heard me right. They just killed their father, and then they had sex on the couch. Mind you, it's incestuous sex, so... Whew. She was fast asleep, or so it seemed. Her oxycontins were split on her nightstand. Her pill addiction may have gotten the best of her. I checked her pulse. Dead. The conclusion that me and my brother came to is that she had drugged herself to death when she heard our father's procedure going on in the other room. The craven whore didn't even escape because she knew we'd find her. Taking our bags, my brother and I set up shop in a nearby abandoned warehouse. We knew we'd have to move from place to place. Seeing that we were now fugitives, there was no home we could go to. My brother had called 3 of his friends over to discuss a proposal with me that he thought I'd like. Remember when I mentioned my brother and I's renewed purpose, our blinding dawn? It's about to unfold. My brother's friends already had to leave their lives at home and their school behind for this cause. He suggested that as a result of our mother's cowardly escape from the seemingly inevitable agony, we form a society that exacts all agony unto others. I readily agreed, and now, for our purpose and our current whereabouts, we are the Splitters. We know the average college or high school student will be unsuspecting enough to where they won't commit suicide out of fear. Because of our mother's actions, we want to ensure that everyone feels the pain we have. Our numbers eventually snowballed, and this unit is about 10 members strong. Why do I say this unit? We are based in rural Ohio, and we serve as a leadership for our other chapters. We currently have chapters in 28 states and 59 cities. Each night we take 2 or 3, bestowing ineffable anguish upon them in the process. Based on the range of each unit's forces, you are more likely to be next reader, prepared to be split. So yeah, that was Splitters. Probably one of the worst stories I've ever read. We got perfect OC characters. They're role models. They got super strength and shit. They have their own murder cult. Then we have the obligatory abusive parents. While the only reason they have for being abusive is just being alcoholics. We have more problems of absolutely pointless violence, trying to make this story scary. Like, is this supposed to be scary? I'm not scared. I'm more so cringing than anything. Did this actually scare anyone? To the people that actually read this, did this scare you? Especially the ending here. You are most likely next reader, prepared to be split. I mean, that ending right there is so cliche. You could just like slap it onto any other pasta and shit, and it'll just have the same effect of me being, unimpressed, and probably a lot of other readers being unimpressed. And also we have the stupid ass catchphrase at the bottom of here, prepared to be split, because all creepypasta characters have to have a shitty catchphrase to make them different from the rest of them. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's just a really bad pasta that I in particular just don't like at all. Like, literally, it's so bad it's not even funny.